welcome back to the We're Just Saying podcast. My name is Rob, of course. Your name is
Snuggles.
Oh, come on.
AKA Marcus.
All right.
All right.
Joyce.
You sure that's your name?
Yes.
But I told you before, you got to say it with your trust.
Oh,
Yeah.
Joyce.
The first lady.
Come on, you wearing the do the right thing and all of that. Staying with black women, you know what I mean?
Thing.
Look at the buttons.
My name is Joyce, and I'm doing the right thing, everybody.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
Well, today we got a special guest, right? Aaron. I'm going to bring him in now, and we're going to talk.
Yeah.
Because we have a few questions, what's going on this past month. This past year, actually.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that May
what's going on,
was
Aaron?
Mental
What's
health
up? What's up?
awareness.
You want to introduce
something.
yourself to the people?
Sure, yeah. So, May was Mental Health Awareness Month. My name is Aaron Muller. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I have a private practice alongside my wife, Dr. Trudy Ann Gale, and we specialize in, we see all people, but we particularly specialize in African-American family, and Afro-Caribbean. So,
Okay.
We service over maybe 5,000 clients since we started in 2016.
Nice.
Just providing mental health services. I specialize in marriage counseling and individual, and I work with children as well.
Nice. It's a pleasure to have you here, man.
Thank you.
I
I'm
love
excited.
seeing our people thrive and just do amazing things like you're
Yes.
doing right now.
And
I really
highlight, mental health, because that's for a long time it was just like, oh baby, just pray about it. Don't worry about it. Just pray. You can pray,
about it.
but then you also
But you're gonna
need some counseling and to go hand in hand with it. Just saying.
Right.
So,
Right,
so
right.
I got a question. So, in our community, right, there's always been that stigma of I shouldn't talk to anyone. So, as far as like your first clients that you get, is there like hesitation to even talk to you about anything?
Well, as Marcus said, the kind of like go pray about it. That's like the number one deterrent from people going to therapy.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of been like, it's like a shame thing, right? So it's like, I can't be a Christian and then say that I'm experiencing anxiety and depression, because you're supposed to lean on God for all understanding.
Mm-hmm.
But, when we come to understanding that God made therapists for a reason and that you can do both, in therapy, we could talk about scriptures. We could talk about, the challenges that you go through as a Christian, but still dealing with real life stuff and how to navigate through that experience. So when someone actually, makes the determination to come and see me, they process for a really long time. All right, let me make that call. The biggest step is making the call. And then the second biggest step is coming in the office. So before the pandemic, they would come in, and that's a big deal. And then the third biggest step is coming back again.
Right.
So it's like a 3-step process.
Okay. Yeah. So, like I was saying, what was I saying?
Okay, so we were talking about the stigma or what do you find the hardest to happen? Sorry, I'm in and out. But I wanted to kind of go back. Back to the fact that you mentioned that you do things with Afro-Caribbean.
Right.
Why did you feel like you had to distinct that? Differentiate that?
Well, one thing, because my wife and I are from the Caribbean, so we and is also a stigma not only in the African American community but the Afro-Caribbean community as well.
Right.
So people really like that kind of that shared experience, identify that as a person of the same culture. While we don't have the same experience, but it's similar. So with nuances, certain names, and certain things like that, and certain norms that we certainly get it and understand as a part of the process. You don't really have to explain too much. I mean, of course, for clarification, because every island is different, but by and large is the same, kind of the similar backgrounds and stuff and customs.
Right.
I have to say that's definitely true. Like, even when you're talking to, your friends and how you relate, and then there's certain things, like, I know, like being a Haitian woman.
Every time you say Haitian, you do like this whole
Do I?
Haitian thing.
No,
like,
because it's a vibe.
I don't know if you
to
have
it.
to do
It's
that. Is that like a
it's
bylaw where you gotta go?
It's a whole.
It's like a Broadway
aura.
show.
Yeah, I guess so. Right?
Yeah.
I'm Haitian. You know what I mean?
No, but it's true. Like, it's different when you're talking to your friend. You're like, yo, they didn't let me sleep over so-and-so's house. It's like, it's an automatic, well, you know how they are. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to having to explain to maybe someone who's not
In that
familiar.
culture.
It's like,
Right.
why can't you sleep over the house? What happened?
Is that the
Did
voice?
something like
That's the voice?
That's the Karen voice. Yeah. Did something happen at when you were younger? So I could understand there being definitely a benefit to speaking to someone who is helping you heal and them knowing where you came from at the same time. So that I think that's awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I definitely want to touch base on, of course, I'm going to talk about COVID, pandemic, and all of that.
Right.
Has your clientele increased by a lot due to this? You know what I'm saying? Are people just calling you up left and right, left and right?
Yeah. It's definitely overwhelming at this point because I'm actually not taking new clients right now just because I'm just so overwhelmed. I would there's definitely been an uptick since the pandemic and people seeking services. So between racial tension and just COVID anxiety of loss and whether we lost a family member, employment, just way of life, isolation. A lot of people have been seeking therapy, and with it being virtual, it's definitely more accessible. You're not walking into a place. You can literally do it from your home.
Now, what would you suggest to someone that is unable to find a therapist, right? And they had to deal with being in a house for them, by themselves for a whole year. Are there any, how would I say it, ways to get out of that funk?
Yeah. Like ameliorate whatever that is.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, I wouldn't put a one size fits all because it's so every experiences are different because it's hard to come up if you've been isolated by yourself and you lost your job and you lost a loved one, right?
Yeah.
So I definitely say, maybe recognize, identifying that something may be wrong. I may have an issue because the first part is acknowledgement. So you may just be in your existence and not really recognizing that you've lost your appetite, you're not eating as much or you're sleeping as much or you're coping, with, weed smoke or more drinking or more, illegal activities or things that you never used to do. People are finding other ways to cope. They've definitely documented that people have increased cigarette smoking. There's an increase in pornography. There's been an increase in alcohol.
We had a conversation about that earlier.
No, we did. That's all the reason why we smoked. Yeah.
There's been a lot of increase in a lot of coping skills that people have, resorted to address, deal with some of the, the pandemic and stuff like that. So first acknowledgement that there's something wrong. Then you can talk to someone if it's not a qualified mental professional. I hope it could be, but someone that you trust to kind of process and then ask them, do they have space, to hold, to converse with you about that.
Well, to be very, what did you say? Something about being vulnerable?
Yes, vulnerable.
Robbie keeps getting at me, right? Because I refuse to drive.
You refuse to drive?
Yes. And it was starting the pandemic. I was just like, I'm not doing highways anymore. And I'll figure it out. I'll figure out why. But right now I'm not doing it. And I want to say it's definitely...
It's anxiety.
It is. I know. I'm dealing.
But where's it stemming from?
That's the question,
She doesn't know.
That's what we're trying... I mean, I don't know. It's just... I think generally there was, I think everyone experienced change with the pandemic, right? And right immediately before the pandemic, I had changed my job, and then I my family did experience a good deal of loss during the pandemic, maybe one person a month, so it did kind of build up. And then I said, you know what? Driving's not for me. Unless I'm going to the market. So it's just like...
Wait, so the market
wait.
I'll go to the market. I'll go to the mall.
So
but
shopping is...
I won't go to the highways. It's like, you got to give me a second to breathe. I need the stop sign. I need the...
Right. Well, it seems like you want to go places where you can control, and the highway can be out of control because life is out of control. I'm not your therapist, but
he's good.
But sign up, people. I know he's not taking people right now, but just keep trying every month. All right.
At least wait for him if you can. You know what I'm saying? Just say I'm still here.
But in full transparency, I definitely, since the pandemic, I wasn't driving as much. And now that I'm driving again, I'm a bit more timid on the highway because people is wild. I'm like, that was never my thing. I'm good. And now I have a huge truck, so I'm a little bit more. I'm like, this truck is too big. People is wild. So now, I'm kind of fear based when I'm driving on the road now. It's getting a little bit better since I'm driving a little bit more every day. But I definitely noticed a change in my confidence in driving on the highway since before the pandemic and now.
Yeah.
That's a good word, confidence.
It is
because
confidence.
it's been a few times where I'm doing like 55 and the guy passed me doing like 62. I'm like, whoa, slow down, bro.
Where you going?
Slow down. Where you going? Where's the fire?
Or is it our age now? Maybe that's it too.
I don't want to put that because we're still in our 30s. You know what I'm saying?
So late 30s though.
30s though. I don't say late 30s.
40.
Huh?
We pushing 40.
Wow. Why are we putting, back,
Let's be honest. Be vulnerable. Okay. Let the audience know what it is.
Right. I can't sugarcoat.
I think we're just getting, to your point, I think we're getting more aware. I'm going to tie in what you're saying with the whole anxiety and the driving and the pandemic and just being more aware of your limitations.
But I think it might also be you, after coming out of this, you value more. Me personally, I value more to where, it can be down to the driving where I'm not going to cut that right. Like I would have before. But now it's like, all right, I can wait.
But you see limits to life.
I'll drive 3 miles to the next exit.
You're not.
That it can be taken out very quickly. So now you're a little bit more appreciative and a little more thoughtful about the decisions that you make.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Sure.
But that's interesting.
It's
all right. So who's next? Who's next?
Well, all right.
All right. Well, this is Marcus. He has a lot, so you better charge him. I'll tell you that right now. But so I believe like a few years ago I had asked you, but you're not allowed to treat people you know. Is that what it is, or
no, not at all?
Okay.
It's a conflict of interest. It's just not.
Right. So
okay. So what if someone chose their mental health over the friendship? They was like, you know what? I don't want to be your friends anymore, but I need you to treat this right now.
Well, I was talking to my friend today. He was like, damn, why become friends with you? Exactly what he said.
See? You know what I'm saying?
That's funny.
Because I'm full transparent. I hit you up before.
Right.
I hit you up before, and that's what you told me, and I cursed you out for like 2 minutes. I was like, it's messed up.
We was in gym class together. This is how you gonna treat me?
But not for nothing. Obviously your practicing skills, it incorporates into whoever you are. I would think so. Like, you just so happen to, I would think, you would just so happen to help heal your friend in the way that you've learned how to. You know what I'm saying? I have friends that are social workers and they have a way to, what did that make you feel? Like, you know what I mean? Right. And it's like, all right, stop doing the social work. Like, they can't help.
They can't turn it off.
You don't. And then I'm an attorney, and sometimes I just get into that mode where I'm asking certain questions.
Where were you on June 29th?
No, answer the question.
I was getting back of chips. I got a slice of pizza. I don't know.
All that to say, even though you may experience conflict of interest, can you turn it off and on? Like, because if you care, you care, and if you're trying to heal, you're trying to heal. Does that make sense?
Like if someone close to you is,
Yeah.
Right. So like I told him when I was talking to my homeboy today, I was like, I'm still supporting you. I can still help you. But in order to get in depth into detail, it's just a conflict with, just the social work ethics. It just doesn't, promote seeing a close friend or, relative or anything like that, because it just could get really hairy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like say now we had a reunion or a party and then I see you pull up and I'm like, damn, I remember he said that. It just gets really...
And then I'm sitting there like, damn, I told him. I feel weird right now. Are they laughing at me? You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I get that.
It gets really, really hairy. And you can, like for me, turn it off. Like my wife is a therapist too. And people think that we do therapy on each other all day. Not at all. Nobody has time for all of that. It does give us insight, right? In terms of being able to, maybe, recognize when certain things are going down a slippery slope. So we may not argue all the time, but we do catch up. We do have issues and things like that. But, you do have tools to express and navigate. So I don't want to be a therapist all day.
All day.
It's
Okay.
Makes
So
sense.
so I have another question. Like, I understand the individual therapy, right?
Mhm.
Well, you and Trudy do have marriage.
right.
Now, does that still like take the same like, for instance, if my wife and I went to you, we can't, right? Because of the relationship?
If you and your wife came to see me for individual therapy?
No,
I mean,
no. For marriage,
Yes, it's still the same thing.
it's all
It's
right.
still
He was
you.
trying.
I'm not saying
He
that. I'm
tried
not
it.
saying.
He tried
I'm
it.
just saying.
He tried it.
We can start a group chat, maybe. You know what I mean? That's it.
So wait, I got a question, right? And I'm not asking for specific details here, right?
Right.
But like, have you ever had a client, right? And that client's, I don't want to, lifestyle or what he told you was probably so intense that afterwards you had to just kind of sit back like, wow, that was a
That's a
bit
lot.
much there. Like, have you ever had that experience that you was just like, oh man, I got to reset myself because that was a lot in one?
Definitely. There are intense sessions where I'm like, wow, that was a lot to unpack. And I'm even very transparent during the sessions, like, wow, I had to take a deep breath, because if I hearing that and I had that response, I can imagine you living that, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
And people appreciate that transparency, and just, it kind of solidifies like, wow, I am going through a lot. Right. So I think people just need that validation sometimes. And then for me, it's also important that you kind of come down from all those experiences and being a sounding board for so many people. So it's important that I take care of myself as well, because I'm absorbing all of that energy and all of that stuff.
Do you have to see a therapist?
I don't have to, but it's recommended. I
Okay.
do. It's important.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like a mandate, but I think it's essential.
Right.
Because I just always imagine like you're taking on
All this information.
all this
from-
information,
yeah.
all of this energy from everybody, and at some point you got to clear
Right.
clear out for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. And then through Zoom I'm adjusting to it, but like in person, like I get really like into my therapy sessions and I take on the energy. So like me, like leaving the office, closing the door, driving home, that was kind of like my detoxing, so to speak, of energy. And then I used to, like my office is on Sunrise Highway, so I would go to the 24-hour gym afterwards. So that was also a great way right after my session to kind of let all of that out.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's good, because I don't have that space anymore to where I will use that time for myself, like the commute.
Right.
Yeah.
Like an hour and a half.
Oh,
like,
I see.
you understand what I'm
Driving
saying?
from work.
Driving from work. Like, I've been working from home, so it's kind of like I don't have that time anymore.
Yeah.
To just sit and
I can honestly, I feel like it's building up. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm going to do anything.
Oh, you sure?
No, I just want to put that out there. Put that out there. But I'm just saying, like, I definitely feel it, So it's like the talk of, like, for instance, my job saying, well, we'll probably bring you guys back maybe 2 days a week. And I'm like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Just to interact with other people again, on a daily basis.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not through Zoom or on the phone all the time. I'm looking forward to the drive to work, believe it or not. But I'm going to be taking the train though. I'm not going to be driving.
Oh, it's a little
so
different
you're
when you do that.
I'm further out now. I just said I'm further out
I
from the
don't
city
have
now.
those options,
So yeah, I'm just taking the train, but I definitely miss that alone time.
Absolutely.
Without
I think it's
telling
essential.
you.
Yeah, I think it's essential. It's not selfish. Like, I think, as a role, as a husband and a father, you need that alone time, because I think it's really important that you maintain this sense of self so that you can show up your best in those roles that you have to play.
I agree. That time is very important, because even driving from work back home is where I've literally come up with some of my best ideas creatively.
Yeah.
And then, like, I live super far in Orange County. So it's like I'm driving not only for a long time, but I'm like, the scenery changes from the city until I get all the way up there, and it's just like, oh man, look at the mountain. That gave me an idea, and then I'm like, well, I can't write down while I'm driving.
Yeah,
but, you know,
yeah.
so,
I mean, you won't get in trouble if you do it.
I
I'm
mean,
just saying,
I might hit it. Never mind. That's
Aaron, have you found that I mean, your clientele seem to be more African American, Afro Caribbean. It sounds like what you're saying. Have you have you found the stressors to be different for our culture, especially dealing with the pandemic? Like, has anything changed? Has there been like a united thing, you know?
Right. So here's the interesting thing. I thought the pandemic might have shifted people's focus in terms of what they're reporting. I feel like the pandemic exacerbated what people were going through. Mm-hmm. I mean, if we let's negate, if we minus like loss, right? Direct loss that people experience based off of the pandemic, whether it be a loved one, a friend, or a job. Minus that, people have been dealing with marital issues, anxiety, depression, kind of trying to find their own way. And then here comes a pandemic and it just knocks them off their feet. So now they're trying to navigate that on top of a pandemic. And then that kind of like a spiral. So in sessions, I think people like are talking about the pandemic, but I'm not really talking a lot directly about the pandemic. People are still having issues in a relationship, you know, and now that they had to be together and be in a confined space, it's like, yo, I really hate this person. I really don't. Or it made you realize,
still breathing.
Right?
Did you just blink?
Right, because a lot of things were going on before, but now if you know you're going to work and you work nights and other person work days, you kind of miss each other,
right.
Right? Right. So then. And then a lot of people are in relationships, but they still going to brunch, swagging and surfing and going to Applebee's. And there's still issues in a relationship. And they just blinded by the fun, right? So there was no brunches, there was no Applebee's. So now you had to sit in that stinkness. Right? So now they're like, oh, things is not good. So now they came to this realization that things is not going well and it's been happening a long time. So
That's Everybody just reflected on that for a minute, like, damn, sounds about right, you know.
We all got quiet.
Right. I mean, as humans, right, we kind of just go with the flow, right? When I ask a lot of couples or a lot of people when the thing started, you know, a lot of people may not really identify when things go awry, right? Things is good in the beginning, then things start to happen, unpack. And you don't really say like, okay, it happened on March 10th, 2002. No, you don't identify. You just realize slowly that things started to shift. Yeah. Right. So when somebody asks you that, it's really hard to pinpoint.
Well, I was gonna say
depends on the person.
I was gonna say
it started when she burnt the toast. It was
1983.
It's a lot of women that have like, not only women, but have like those specific dates.
Yeah.
So when you unpack it, right? So that sometimes that's like maybe the catalyst but there's an iceberg moment, right? There's an iceberg underneath. So this has been things going on a long time, but that is just like the right?
Gotcha.
So you need help to unpack that. You need the help to unpack that. That where's the foundation of that? And sometimes it's really from the origin of the relationship.
Right.
Damn, he's good.
Yeah.
That boy good.
That boy
good.
That's my favorite movie.
That's hilarious.
So what's like an ideal relationship between a client and yourself? Like,
okay, so the ideal thing, we call it kind of therapeutic rapport or therapist-client relationship, where there is kind of like trust, right? There's a bond built there where there's support given, that you feel heard, validated, and the person could kind of feel comfortable coming and sharing things. So that's like a good therapeutic relationship, therapeutic rapport, and it takes time to build that because now you're unpacking stuff, and a lot of people is like, yo, I know all this stuff about you. They want to know about you as a therapist too. So it's kind of like, but we still have boundaries in terms of like, because we're not friends, right? I'm here to support you. Yeah. So it's not like this back and forth where I'm like, yeah, and this time, nah. But there's moments, right? There's moments where it may be as we call it, beneficial,
Mm-hmm.
where I say, I experienced something like that, and this is what helped me. But that's very rare, because it's not about me; it's about you and your experience.
Okay.
I think that's what kind of makes it difficult to do the therapy thing. Because sometimes the deflection is not not paying attention to yourself, right? So, since you're not paying attention to yourself and you're just kind of you're functioning, it takes you a little while to even figure out that something's wrong with you. So, and I think that's what the pandemic kind of brought to a head. Even like with when I'm dealing with myself, it's just this whole period has been like self care for me, like because my job requires me to focus on others. Um, my general personality is focusing on others. And then it's just like, now it's like, it almost made you sit and just be like, you know, forget everyone else, forget work, forget everything. Like, what about you,
Right.
Because
Mm.
life is short. You don't know when things are going to happen. I guess death, whatever that means, you don't know when things are going to change. And then I think that's what brought things to a head. Um, just focusing on yourself. So I think I know for myself that was the hardest because, take, I take or do therapy. What do? You do therapy? Do you take therapy?
Experience.
Do you see
Experience
therapy?
therapy? What?
You go to therapy.
You go, okay.
Or you're in therapy.
No, I'm just trying to be like, what is the word?
You gliding.
Yeah, so like starting the pandemic, I started like, no, Joyce, you have to focus on you, or you have to make time to focus on you. So your regular life is gonna be your regular life. You're gonna be you. You need to carve out an hour of your week where it's just you, where you,
Right.
I have to say, it gets hard. Like, so what about you? And I'm used to, not crazy. What's going on with you? And I'm used to doing
Yes.
that with my friends
Right.
and everyone else. But it's like there'll be silence if I do that, and then
Yes.
all
It's
right.
all about you, and
And
the thing is that you deserve that, right? Because you need to. It is.
It is.
It
It's
is.
really
It is.
uncomfortable. So, I can imagine that being the hardest part of realizing not only that you need therapy, but to do it. Like you had mentioned, like the first step is to go. The second thing is to actually come back.
Yeah, that's the biggest part for a lot of people to acknowledge that I don't have it all like kind of this thing that I don't have it all together, especially if we could talk about even black men going, that's a whole nother avenue or lane, you know what I'm saying? Like, because we, it's about not being weak or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So saying that I'm dealing with, I'm having an issue with anxiety or an issue with depression, those are not quote unquote manly things. Right. But not realizing that you're human, right? So you're human and we all have emotions and we all deal with things. So how do you deal with that? And so oftentimes it's in a very negative way, it's not very helpful.
It's true, because even I notice, like, when you tell somebody that you go to therapy, they're just like, oh. Like, they give you that look like, oh, you're broken.
Yeah, like, something wrong with you? Exactly.
But it's funny because my reaction is just like, yeah, I'll go.
Right.
Like, even like with my parents, like, I was like, yeah, Dad, I got an appointment. He's just like, oh, what's the matter? Your knee? What's your back? You all right? It's just like, no, I gotta go see my therapist. He said, oh, okay. He's like, all right, no problem, son. It's like, whoa, how's that going? Like, it was like it was like a whole shift in the mood, and I was just like, I'm going. That's what I need. It works for me. Cool, but not I know for a lot of people, in that realm, especially if people around you, whether parents, friends, they react in that manner, it might be like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't go. They think I'm crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So I just want to add something real quick. I'm actually a therapist. To Marcus. To Marcus. I'm just I'm not a professional. But I'm just saying, like, no, because no, hold on.
Go.
Because how you brought up your friends and your family, like who you can talk to.
Mm-hmm.
We both bounce off each other.
Touche.
On a daily basis.
Touche.
As early as 5 a.m. because we work early. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
But it goes to the days.
The day starts, and I'm just like, hey, man, guess what happened?
Yo.
You know what I mean? That is true.
Like, hold on, let me get out of bed first.
And I'm like, no, get up. But then he does it to me on my day off. I'm like, Rob.
Nah, I'm off.
Rob, it's
on.
5:30.
You're never
He's like-
off, right?
he's like,
Right, Aaron?
no.
You're never off, right?
No, we gotta have boundaries.
Nah, there's no boundaries
they
here.
They don't exist anymore. It just is what it is.
And it's
No,
funny.
but that's essential. It's important. I mean, even me, like I have a therapist, best friend, and we still, do the same thing for each other as well. So even therapists need that,
Okay.
Yeah.
Good, man.
And
Good.
I found it fun because my father, he's a psychiatrist, right? So it just made me think. I was like, I still haven't told these. Like, I disappear. I'll be like, I'll be right back, and I'll go for a ride or I'll go for a drive, and that's when I'll take my therapist session. But
hold up. Wait, so your father's a whole psychiatrist, and you and
and I won't. I have not revealed that I.
So wait, hold on. So he's an MD and prescribed medication for people with psychiatric disorders.
Yes.
And you haven't disclosed to him that you're
correct. Correct. That's
Okay.
exactly it.
I had to break that down.
Break that down.
That's exactly. But it's so. But it's true. It's weird. It's even.
That says a lot about the stigma.
It's the. I don't want him looking at me like.
That's not my baby.
Yeah,
baby.
What's wrong? You too? Do you need something?
Come sit. Come talk.
Like, and no, it's not like that. I got it. I still got it. Okay. Like,
All right.
I just need to
Calm down.
No, but that's the thing. Like to have to like reveal that to your daddy, and I'm like, no, I'm okay, Daddy. I'm okay. Okay, I just want to talk. I just
But you don't think he understands that? Because we normalize that experience, that it doesn't take you away from your profession, doesn't take you away from being the dopest lawyer or doctor or whatever you are, but you're just dealing with challenges with navigating certain things, and you need something. And listen, I'm not trying to pinpoint you, because this could bless somebody else as well with that same experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't take away from how dope you are or whatever like that. It's just a space to navigate those things. And it's something that Marcus said, is that when you say that I'm in therapy, white people don't think at all. They're like, oh, where you go? Yeah, it's kind of like this automatic thing. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of just like, all right, cool, where you go? And I would love to see that in our community. And I ain't gonna hold you that it definitely is a shift now where more people is talking about it.
Yeah, right, right.
That is the truth.
I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, no, it's just funny to some people's reaction. Like I said, my father was just like, "Oh, you okay, son?" Like, but my mom was just like, "Okay, that's good. That's what's up. Do you? Good for you." I actually got my mother to start going. Like, she just retired recently, and now she's stepped in that realm to where she's found somebody. So I'm just like, cool. I'm an inspiring family. Yeah, it's gonna take longer for Dad, but whatever.
Yeah, he'll get there.
Maybe not.
So, do you have any new ventures coming up or anything? I'm still waiting for some type of reality show or something with you.
Oh, for me? Oh, well.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. We'll see. I have my podcast, Aaron Talks, and it's therapy open. I do the husband files, where I talk to husbands at various stages of their marriage journey and kind of see what's something they want to work on in their marriage. Okay. And I do mental health moments, like 1-minute moments about a mental health topic. You can find me on Black Ink whenever, a couple of episodes on their Black Ink Crew on VH1. And we'll see what else. I'm trying to finish this book. My wife and I are doing a book on Black family.
Well, congrats on your wife too.
Oh, thank you. Congrats so she did her own book.
Nice.
She's doing her thing. Yep. Yeah, and then we're gonna do a book together on the Black family. So stay tuned for that.
How is it working with your wife?
You can be honest.
Great.
You can be honest.
It's great.
Okay.
No, I love it. I mean,
I can naturally see that too. I'm not even lying. Like, I can see that they have that like, it's not. I don't know. I'm not. Right. Every relationship isn't perfect. Right. We know that. Right. We know that. But I can see the love is just pouring out of you guys every time I see video or picture or anything. It's just is love, and I love to see that.
Let's take
You
away
know
the
what I'm saying?
idea of love, right? Because obviously love has to exist somewhere, right?
Right.
But what did it take for you to see your wife as a business partner? Like that's different. You know what I mean?
Right. You have to have the skill and ability for that. So one thing is that we have the ability to kind of work together, right? There's no egos. And I feel like in relationships, sometimes there's a lot of egos. So it's like we all have strengths in our areas, right? So, I've been doing the social media stuff for a very long time in terms of like putting myself out there, getting on TV shows and things like that. And then I got a publicist and a brand manager kind of helped me elevate, So really about pushing myself and putting myself out there. And she has a business mind and a business head as well. And we definitely kind of coordinate and, work together and kind of brainstorm, and that's how we came up with Life Matters, our private practice. Like one day we was in the car and was like, yo, we got to do something. We want to get to the next level, and how can we help people? We both in the same profession, and it's really, about communicating and prayer. And prayer life is very big. You know what I'm saying? She's a night owl, so when I'm sleeping, she's up like masterminding stuff, and she'll be like, God told me this when I, in the night and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, that's dope, and then we expound on that.
Yeah.
So it's really about no egos, working together and being in alignment, right? So and working together. And that's how I try to work with my couples in terms of like a marriage is a company.
Right. Yep.
Right. You have a contract, you're signed.
Yep.
Right. And I always tell them I do like a basketball team, right? So the jerseys, you know what I'm saying? You have the front of the jersey is the team, and then on the back is your individual, your individual name.
Yeah.
So how y'all gonna work together? How you gonna collaborate and work together? So that's really
that was nice. I like that. Right? I didn't think about
That boy good.
Speaking of basketball, Knicks and Nets.
Well, I just gave that thing. I'm a car guy.
You didn't see that coming. You didn't see that coming.
I didn't see. I'm a car guy too, but just say Knicks.
I heard Nets was doing
now you
this.
trying to
Just say Knicks.
I thought I heard Nets was doing
I can't do Knicks though.
Oh, come on, Aaron.
Gotcha.
I'm happy I wear my Knicks hat today. I look like a fool.
So which car then, Robert?
Huh?
So which car?
Car brand?
Yeah, which one is your?
I know. Okay, I'm gonna say Audi, but I know you like. Last time it was it a Benz? I saw you in. Was it black? It was either a BMW or a Mercedes.
How long ago was that?
Oh man, that was
a long time ago.
That was years
He's
ago
like,
when we
that
went
was-
out to. It was in Long Island. We was at some. It was like some hookah spot or something like that. This was like. This was
That was
years
long,
ago.
okay.
You had what you had back then?
That's your. I think,
Remember, it was a bunch of us. It was like we
Right,
packed
right,
out the
right.
whole place. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So Trudy had the X6 then, the white
That was
BMW
it was-
X6. Yeah.
Nah, I saw something black though. It wasn't something black.
Yeah. It was white.
It was white at the time. Okay.
He's
white
colorblind. It's all good.
I just got LASIK done, so maybe that's why
he's
I
been feeling himself.
I'm feeling myself
What
for the
it
last
comes
week.
through.
You know what I'm saying?
That
Yo.
this guy had lazy.
Yeah, he's
Right.
been like
There
happy.
Thank you. Thank
Slow
you.
clap.
That's
Thank
good. That's
There you
good.
go.
Thank
Good job. Good
Thank
job.
you.
You got
Thank
it?
Appreciate y'all.
He's
Yeah,
been so
whatever.
happy with the whole LASIK.
My crew, man. Yeah,
Congrats on that.
thanks.
After he
man.
got the surgery, he threw his glasses in the air. Like that's how he celebrated, like a
Like a
graduation. hat.
graduation, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Well, that's an accomplishment.
it is.
Oh, see, thank you, Aaron.
No, look at him being mad
Thank you.
therapist. Like, that is an accomplishment.
It is an accomplishment.
You should be proud of yourself.
I am proud of
Oh,
myself.
good.
Gosh damn it.
Don't let anyone take that away from you.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I'm not.
Small journeys.
That's it.
No.
That's it. Yeah, but we appreciate you coming on, man. We really do. Continue what you're doing. Like
Yeah.
really, we really
Yeah,
appreciate it.
man.
Too bad we can't see you. You know what I mean? But it's what it is, I guess.
Oh, you mean in the studio?
Huh?
No, in real life.
In real
because
life,
we
like-
need help.
Especially Rob.
Oh, okay.
Because we
nah.
need help, sir.
Nah. Hopefully next time, if you invite me back, we'll be in person.
Yeah, no, definitely,
definitely.
definitely, man. You get your shots or
Why you
Oh,
asking
I'm
the
gonna
man's
ask.
business?
I'm
Look at
saying-
his face.
Talk about the man's
we can cut
business.
that out.
We
You
can
know
talk,
what
we
I'm
can
saying?
talk about that off air because I'm not trying to create no controversy.
See?
Nah, you're right.
Dang, Rob. First you
My
expose
bad.
his
My bad.
vehicles.
Yeah.
Then you tell everybody what he's
What he said?
driving, and now you want to know is this
Right.
you're violating HIPAA law.
Oh, man.
The HIPAA law, that's funny.
Yeah, he's a big boundary crosser, Robert.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll fall back.
See,
back.
this is
All
why
right.
he won't take you on.
Nah, I see
as
that
a
now.
client.
I feel that
This
now.
is
You know.
exactly why.
Like, yo, I'm at that door, yo.
No one's home.
No, it's all.
Now, but I can make a recommendation if you know.
Nah. I mean, we actually both use your recommendation.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I gave you one.
Yeah, you did. So you forgot. Come
Yeah,
on now.
yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta be-
And I give so
I get
many.
it. I get it. It's thousands of us. I get it.
Well, it's good that there's thousands of you
No,
black
man.
men who realize.
No, that's good. That's a good
Absolutely.
thing. You know, Black Kings need therapy. Oh,
Amen.
my T-shirt line, Black Kings need therapy
Black Kings
too.
need
and I'm a
therapy,
black
yep.
man. So
Well,
you
that's
guys
what's up.
need. I'm a black man. I go to therapy T-shirt, so you could rep that you in therapy and you loud and proud about.
Okay.
I got you. I'm gonna wear it to my father's house.
It.
Just put him
You
on
like, all right,
blast.
now,
Hey, Dad.
okay.
That is hilarious.
But
Because that means shifting the stigma. So definitely want to acknowledge that that you get in therapy and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Nothing wrong with
Good
it.
point. Good point.
So thank you guys for allowing me on.
yeah, definitely, bro. We got to get you back one time,
Absolutely.
in person, and have a good
Yeah,
time.
definitely. I'm starting to feel a little bit more comfortable about doing in person. I'm doing one on June 19th. That's my first back on the scene.
Ooh,
Oh,
nice,
wow,
nice,
okay.
nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Definitely.
That's around my
We'll
birthday
see.
too. Nice.
All right.
Yeah. All right, cool, man. So we appreciate you again,
Yeah.
bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
Be
It
well.
was a
Congrats to
pleasure.
you, Trudy, whole family.
Van Buren.
That-
All right, man. So be good, man.
All right.
All right, later.
Thank you.